I just did something that I might live to regret, but I want to tell you all about it. Stick around and I'll fill you in. I have been waiting to make this video for a while. It's January 2024 and I just quit my job. No, I just quit my career. No, I changed career. Anyway, I'm a full-time games designer now, according to me. I'm also unemployed, according to other people, I guess. I've saved up some money and I'm going to use that money that I've saved up to fund myself to focus on tabletop miniature games design for the next year, maybe 2 years. And I want to see how far I can push the work that I've been doing with Gaslands and A Billion Suns and Hobgoblin and the million other ideas I've got in front of me. And when the money runs out, I will go back to a career in, product management and making software, or hopefully I can make this work as a full-time thing, which, at least partially supports my family. I'm hopeful and I'm excited. And there's so many things I want to talk about and I want to tell you, and I'm not going to cover them all in this video, but what am I going to talk about? Well, I want to talk about a little bit what my decision is and why I made that decision. I want to talk a little bit about what's next and maybe what you can expect from me and from this channel here on YouTube. And then I want to kind of talk about some of the upcoming things that I'm going to talk about in future videos. Okay, so what just happened? Well, I have been working in IT. Specifically, I've been a product manager making software products for about, well, I guess for about 10 or 12 years. But the career, as I see it, kind of goes back to way back when I finished university. I got into movies. I wanted to be a video editor. It didn't work out, but I got into the BBC, doing videotape stuff, started sniffing around technology and got into a career making software for businesses. I've worked for the BBC, I've worked for Amazon, I've worked for a couple of tech startups, both of which ended out getting sold to people. And most recently, I've been working for Epic Games. I've been working on Fortnite, not as a games designer, but as a product designer building their community tools for UGC games. The decision to leave Epic Games was, well, it was accelerated by a period of pretty significant occupational burnout that I suffered last year, which left me basically and completely ineffective ball of anger for about 6 months. I am emerging from the other side of that and happy to say that I am feeling creative and productive at the moment. But the other thing is that my desire, my hope, my vision of myself has always been as a miniature games designer. Like, that's what I do. That's what my brain does when it's resting. That's the thing that I love doing the most. And I think I'm pretty good at it. Like, I've made some games that have been well received, and the Rule of Carnage podcast has been an awesome opportunity to hone my skills and my thinking and build a community of practice around miniature games design. And I've got so many ideas for games and so many ideas for how to put game products together and how to get them out there in the wild. And I want to be able to dedicate time to that and build the kind of game products that I truly think are going to be amazing and are going to be, unique and striking. And I have enjoyed working with other people who, so far, all of my games have been published by somebody else, and that has been an experience, and I've learned a lot from that. Hobgoblin particularly has been an extremely pleasurable experience. And I want to see how much of that work I can do myself and how much of an auteur I can be on my own games. So one of the things that has been hard over the last, I guess, 7 or 8 years is finding enough time to do the kind of games design to the level that I want to do it at. And working on one project at a time and doing it in my evenings and my weekends has been okay. Gaslands was made entirely in little bits of spare time, and I would like to do this full time and work faster and harder and make more games more faster because I have more time to develop them and playtest them and write them and think about them. So I think that I can make more games than I have been in the past. I think I can make them faster. I think I can make better games because I will have more focused attention. And that really excites me. And I'm excited to start to tell you guys about what I'm working on, show a lot more of the work in progress. And I think I am very keen to be quite open and transparent about what I'm working on. I talked about this a little bit on The Rule of Carnage, but I don't see a huge advantage to keeping secrets from anyone who happens to want to know what I'm up to and is looking at what I'm doing. I don't have a particular value in doing a big splashy surprise marketing release of something. If I'm working on a game, it's better for me that I tell you about it as early as possible and I show you what it is and get some people excited, and then they can tell some other people and maybe they can get excited. And even though they won't necessarily be able to purchase the game at the time they first hear about it, I think that's going to be okay. I think that I am going to tell you guys about things. I'm not going to keep any secrets. I'm going to talk about the projects that I'm working on. I'm going to talk about my work on the 3rd edition of Gaslands. I'm going to talk about the work on Perilous Tales and the other games that I've got starting to prepare. Although I'm going to be very open about that, I'm also going to be quite unpredictable, and I'm going to work on things when I want to work on them and when they're attracting my attention and when the muse has struck me. And I'm going to try not to make too many commitments, because the point, as much as anything, of this experiment there's a squirrel, or maybe my cat, running along the ceiling of my shed here. The point of this experiment, as much as anything, is to give me freedom to follow my creative instincts and to work on the things that I'm excited about. And I suppose that brings me to another point, which is really important to me, which is over the last 3 years, I've worked for Epic Games, as I said, and working for a games company, a video games company, has put certain constraints on me as a creator, both how much I could promote myself externally, but also critically. I wasn't able to create new IP. I wasn't able to create new IP whilst I was working at Epic Games. And that's been huge, psychically huge for me. And today I feel the weight of that lift, and now I can start to tell you about the projects and games and new worlds that I am excited about creating, because I'm now free. I'm now free to invent things and come up with things, and oh boy, I'm excited about that. So yes, I'm gonna start telling you about that. So what am I going to do on this channel? Okay, so what I'm going to do in this channel is I'm going to try at a minimum to get a video out every couple of weeks, which is basically a dev diary. I guess this is probably the first one of those dev diaries. And I guess I'm a little bit used to working in 2-week cycles and thinking about how much I want to commit to and what I want to commit to over a period of a couple of weeks, and then coming back and looking about, what I managed to get done. And I think that's probably the format that I'll start with. So the dev diary will be a little bit of retrospecting on what I've been working on recently, what's grabbing my attention, what I've been succeeding and failing at, and some indications of what's got my attention and what I am likely to be working on in the next couple of weeks. Again, the caveat, I ain't making commitments to no one. I'm just letting you know what I'm up to. I'm not making commitments to you. I may say that I'm going to work on one thing and then a shiny little idea pops out on a different game, and that's what I'll do. So what does this mean for Planet Smasher? Well, Planet Smasher Games is a thing that I created for Gasland's Refueled rulebook, I thought to myself, well, wouldn't it be nice if, now that this game I know is sort of successful, wouldn't it be nice if I had a game company, game studio brand name that I could put onto the books, and it made me look a little bit more professional. And maybe in the future it allows me to say, oh, Planet Smasher is a company, or it's a group of people, or something. It just gave me options. And so I am going to start building and promoting Planet Smasher games more and more as the vehicle that my designs are being carried to market in. Planet Smasher games is just going to be me. I don't want to start a company. I'm not here to begin a journey of building a successful business, beginning to hire people, beginning to build out distribution and accelerate the amount of projects that I'm able to put out. This shed here that I'm standing in, this is Planet Smasher HQ, and the whole point of me quitting my job, quitting my career, and taking a risk with some of my own savings on investing in me and my creative stuff is that's what I want to do. I want to create. I want to make games. Oddly, over the last 3 years, I have spent an enormous amount of my work time helping other content creators, other game makers, kind of realize their dream of becoming a full-time games creator. And halfway through last year, in the midst of my burnout, it just occurred to me, where's my opportunity? I want to make games. This is the thing I want to do. So I'm not looking to make a company. I am looking to make amazing games on a scale that I can deal with practically. And so that probably means making 1 or 2 games a year, and probably selling them to folks on Kickstarter, because that is going to be the way that I can manage the capital required to getting these things printed in properly lovely editions. I am not going to start making a bunch of print on demand or PDF products. I want to make the best boutique, beautiful, absolutely exquisite wargaming, skirmish and wargame experiences that you can play with your miniatures. And so them being exquisite boutique experiences, and them probably being available potentially only via Kickstarter and my own website, and maybe not even seeking retail distribution, but I'm not making any commitments or decisions on that yet. I think that it's clear to me that the games that I'm making and will be making are for you, the discerning wargamer. If you have made it this far into the video, then you are my people. Like, I want to make games for the highly evolved miniature gamer, the experienced miniature gamer. I would like my games to be extremely fun for, new miniature game players, but they ain't gonna find them. I need you to tell the new miniature game players about my games, and have an amazing time with your friends or your sons and daughters, and yeah, they're going to be good. I'm going to make the best games I can, and I'm going to make them the most beautiful way that I can figure out how to. And wow, I'm just so excited. So I've got more to say. I'm going to make a couple of subsequent videos. I want to tell you a bit more about the period of burnout that I went through last year, and that I am still emerging from, because I want to talk about it. It's not something that I anticipated, and it hit me really hard, and it hit me harder than I expected. It didn't have to hit me as hard as it did if I had known more, and so I want to share a little bit. I want to talk about Planet Smasher Games and the vision and the mission and the strategy for what I'm going to do with my games. I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to this kind of stuff, so I'm going to do a pretty deep dive on how I'm thinking about Planet Smasher Games and how I'm making decisions about what to make and how to make them. And and then I'm going to tell you more about the projects that I've got going. I'm not going to tell you about them right now because I'll do that on a subsequent video. But if you're watching this video, thank you for checking out Planet Smasher Games. Thank you in advance for pressing the subscribe button on this video so that you can start to follow along as I really start a fresh journey here as a full-time miniature game creator. And if you want to support what I do and what I hope to do here at Planet Smasher Games, then there are two things that you can do. One is that you can go over to planetsmashergames.com and you can buy one of my games if there's one that you haven't already purchased. And the other thing you can do is head over to patreon.com/planetsmashergames and consider buying me a cup of coffee each month. The contributions that people make on Patreon are hugely significant to me being able to turn this Planet Smasher Games into a sustainable way to get boutique miniature games into your hands. So I'd really appreciate you considering that. Yeah, so that is it. It's January. I quit my job. I'm a full-time games designer, and I'm looking forward to sharing this journey with you. So yeah, I will catch you around and speak soon. Bye. Probably should have set up a game here. This is looking a little bit clean here. Do something next time.